assimalhakeem, right? And he has to make a statement concerning people who follow the Quran for guidance. Now, listen how confused the sectarians are, right? They are very, very confused. And I don't think they are in their right senses when they are speaking. That's why I keep saying the conscious and subconscious. Okay, so listen.
If you read Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah speaks in the first 2-3 ayahs about al-mu'mineen, and then 2-3 ayahs about al-kuffar, and then 8-9 ayahs about al-munafiqeen, about the hypocrites. The hypocrites are everywhere. And in the beginning, there were no hypocrites in Mecca. Why? Because Islam was weak. When they went to Medina and Islam became strong, then the hypocrites appeared. Whenever Islam is strong, hypocrisy becomes widely spread because they are enemies of Islam. They cannot attack Islam. Because if they attack Islam, people will fight with them. So what to do? They work from underground. They put doubts in your head about Islam. Oh, this is not hadith sahih. No, hadith is not good. We only believe in Quran. What about the hadith? No, hadith may be corrupt, may be this. We don't believe in hadith. We are Quraniyun. We believe only in the Quran. Whoever believes in the Quran and rejects sunnah is a kafir.
Ladies and gentlemen, seriously, what is wrong with these people? What is, I can't think far. What is wrong with them? I don't get it. Like, how does the conscious work? Seriously, how does it work? Now, what you be amazed that when you are listening to these people, with all their position, you see their appearance, and if you read Surah Al-Munafiqun, you understand who these people are. Their appearance, and then this guy is charging $100 for half an hour consultation, and he claims he's not a scholar. He's charging people for that, and this guy is actually passing on a fatwa by saying that whoever will believe in the Quran, follow the Quran without accepting the Sunnah is a kafir. Where does this law come from? Where is this judgment coming from? Because the last time I checked, Quran chapter 5 verse 44, Quran chapter 5 verse 45, Quran chapter 5 verse 47 says, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْكَافِرُونَ ظَالِمُونَ فَاسِقُونَ is found there. So if you do not judge by what God has revealed, then you are a kafir. So you Sheikh Assimalhakeem, and we who claim the Quran is enough, who is a kafir? Because you are attributing garbage books which your prophet never approved, and you are calling it sunnah and adding it to Islam. Is that not bid'ah according to your own definition? Is that not bid'ah, your innovation? Because as far as Islam is concerned, none of the believers with the prophet wrote any hadith books for you to follow, right? Or did the prophet actually approve hadith books for you to follow? Now, in your own hadith books, now this is what they don't pay attention to. In their own, it is Sahih al-Bukhari 5669. Let me put the hadith on the page. This is the hadith on the page, right? So when you check the hadith here, normally when it starts haddathana, you see haddathana Ibrahim bin Musa. When they are translating it normally, do you not see, they will not bring all these people here in the list. They will just cut it short to bring where it says narrated Ibn Abbas. He says, when Allah's messenger was on his deathbed, in the house there were some people, among whom was Umar bin al-Khattab. The prophet said, come, let me write for you a statement after which you will not go astray. Umar said, the prophet is seriously ill and you have the Quran, so the book of Allah is enough for us. Here, this is the Arabic version here, this side. Here, Umar says, wa indakum Quran. Then he says, hasbuna kitabullah. Umar says, hasbuna kitabullah. The book of God is sufficient for us. Just like we are saying now, the book of God is sufficient for us. the book of God, which is the Quran, is sufficient, meaning the Quran alone is enough. But it is actually the mushriks, because they hate us calling ourselves Muslim, they hate us so much they have to name tag us by saying Quran alone Muslims, by saying they are Quranist, by saying they are Quraniyun, by saying they are Hadith rejectors. You understand? They hate us so much they have to tag us with a name. So if that is the case, this is Umar. On the deathbed of the Prophet, Umar was saying, Hasbuna kitabullah. He says, Wa indakum Quran. The Quran is with you. So Hasbuna kitabullah. And this is what it says here. Umar said, the Prophet is seriously ill. You have the Quran. Indakum Quran. So he says, so the book of God, Hasbuna kitabullah. The book of Allah is enough for us. Simple. But like I said, they don't know how conscious and subconscious works. The mushriks, I keep telling you, they are kaput in the head. I don't need this hadith book, the comedy book, to tell me the book of God is enough. No, I don't need it. The Quran itself claims it's sufficient. Quran chapter 29, verse 51. أَوَلَمْ يَخْفِيهِمْ أَنَّا أَنزَلْنَا عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ يُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ. Is it not sufficient for them that we have revealed to you the book being recited to them? So the book is enough. The book of God is enough. This is what we claim. We are Muslims, just like the Prophet was instructed. Quran chapter 27, verse 91, وَأُمِرْتُ أَنْ أَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And he says, I have been commanded to be of the submitters, Muslims. And I'm claiming the same. You claim you are following the sunnah of the Prophet, the footsteps. So the Prophet is saying he's commanded to be of the Muslims. So how come you are calling yourself Salafiyya, Sunni, Wahhabiyya, Ahmadiyya, Jagadagadiyya, or you keep adding the dia on it? What is wrong with you? And you just hate the truth, and we are actually replicating, following the Prophet, following the whatever you claim Sahabas. And this is Umar al-Akhtab saying Hasbuna kitabullah. And we are now saying the same thing. You hate us. You say, oh, they are not Muslims. Oh, what is your definition of a Muslim? Come, sit with me face to face. Define a Muslim according to the Quran for me. Let's see who is a Muslim. What is wrong with the bozos? I don't get it. So this is your own garbage book. And Umar is saying, Hasbuna kitabullah. So what do you need any garbage writings or statements for? So Umar said it at the time of Prophet when he was dying. And we are still repeating the same statement that we don't need your garbage books. The book of God is enough. Hasbuna kitabullah. So let's listen to the bozo scholar again. The bozo. Let's listen what he's saying.
Don't have to sugarcoat it, because Allah says in the Quran you have to follow the Prophet, you have to follow the Sunnah.
Hey, stop it. Look at his white beard. He says, God says we have to follow the Sunnah. Which Sunnah? Sunnatullah, he said. He didn't say Sunnatul Nabi. You will never find a verse in the Quran where it says Sunnatul Nabi. It's not there. It's Sunnatullah God gave you. Chapter 33, verse 38. Chapter 33, verse 38. Sunnatullah is what we find. وَمَا كَانَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ مِنْ حَرَجٍ فِيمَا فَرَضَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. Then he says Sunnatullah. Sunnatullah. So why are you trying to lie to us and you say God says we should follow the Sunnah of who? Prophet Muhammad? Show us a verse. They cannot quote a verse. Then they will say, Atiullah wa Atiu Rasul. This is how the mushriks have been programmed in the head. Misquoting verses out of context. And out of their foolishness, this is why they will tell you their garbage books are the one to explain the Quran. That they don't have brains. So I said it in my mushriks don't have brains. Seriously. You think I'm insulting them? If they are somebody with a brain who will be thinking that way? No.
يتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين ومن يشاقق الرسول من بعد ما تبين له الهدى.
This is what they do. Quote verses out of context. This verse is quoting. I'm going to put the verse on the screen and I'm going to show you how they are lying, twisting the verses out of context. Lying to the people. Broad daylight, and they are swearing. Wallahi. This is what they do. Mushriks, you need an award. Do you know the award? You have to be given new brain cells. That is the award for the mushriks. So I'm going to put that verse he's quoting with lies. Let me go on the page. So Quran chapter 4, verse 115. So normally the mushriks will quote this verse, chapter 4, verse 115. When it says, وَمَنْ يُشَاكِكِ رَسُولَ مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْهُدَى. Then he says what? وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ نُوَلِّهِ مَا تَوَلَّى. Then he says, وَنُسْلِهِ جَهَنَّمْ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. So it says, whoever opposes the messenger. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the messenger only brings you a message. From who? From God. Quran chapter 5, verse 67. Ya ayyuha rasul, balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbik, wa illam taf'alu, fama ballagta risalatahu, wallahu yasumuka minan nas. Right? Quran chapter 5, verse 67. It tells the messenger, oh, you the messenger, deliver what has been revealed to you from your Lord. And if you do not, then you have not delivered his messages. And the message is in the Quran. That is the message of God. So now, if you oppose the messenger, it means you are going against the message the messenger has been given. Remember, the verse doesn't say Nabi. It's talking about the Rasul. The Rasul delivers what we call a risala. A messenger delivers a message. That's why it's called a messenger, because he has a message to give you. Where is the message coming from? From God. So now whoever opposes the messenger after what has been made clear to him of the guidance. Where is the guidance? Quran chapter 45, verse 11. God says, this is guidance. Haza hudan. Quran chapter 45, verse 11. God says, this is guidance. Where? Open it. The Quran. So this is guidance. The Quran is guidance. That's why it says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. When you open the kitab, you find guidance throughout. It's guidance. And follows other than the way of the believers. Who are the believers? Go to Quran chapter 8, verse 2. I'm going to show you here. Quran chapter 8, verse 2. And I'm going to read up to verse 4. Who are the believers? إنما المؤمنين الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم زادتهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا وعلى ربهم يتوكلون. Verse 3. الذين يقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Then verse 4. أولئك هم المؤمنون الحق لهم درجات عند ربهم وَمَغْفِرَةٌ وَرِزْقٌ كَرِيمٌ. So what is the translation saying? The translation says the believers are only those whom, when God is mentioned, their hearts are fearful. And when his verses are recited to them, these are the believers. They take the verses of God, not garbage books, not Sahih Bukhari, not any breastfeeding adult book, not any book of stoning people to death. We don't need that. Not any book of negotiating 50 salats. No, we don't need that. When his verses, that's the verses of God from the book of God, Hasbuna Kitabullah. Umar said it, we are also saying it. You can go and bend the sea. We will say it too. The book of God is enough. We don't need your garbage books. And when his verses are recited to them, they increase in faith. Yes, we like the verses of God. So that's why we have faith in his book. And they rely on their Lord. Yes, we rely on God for guidance. We don't rely on your garbage books for guidance. Then verse 3, the ones who establish the litany, and from what we provided them, they disperse. We give charity. We establish the salat also. Verse 4, those are the true believers. So these are the believers God is talking about in Quran chapter 4, verse 115. So God is saying in 115, and whoever opposes the messenger after what has been made clear to him of the guidance. Where do we find the guidance? In the book of God. Quran chapter 2, verse 159. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَخْتُمُونَ مَا أَنزَلْنَا مِنَ الْبَيِّنَاتِ وَالْهُدَى مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا بَيَّنَّاهُ لِلنَّاسِ فِي الْكِتَابِ. Right? Quran chapter 2, verse 159. So God says, and follows other than the way of the believers. The way of the believers is to uphold the verses of God. This is the way of the believers. The way of the believers is not to follow garbage books. No, we don't need that. We will turn him to what he has turned and burn him in hell. You want to turn to garbage books? Go ahead. You are not a believer. You are a mushrik. You go to your garbage books. We will stick with the book of God, with Umar. Hasbuna kitabullah. Such an evil destiny. So go and burn in hell. So let's go back to this other bozo.
غير سبيل المؤمنين نوله ما تولى. Whoever goes against the Prophet عليه السلام.
The verse doesn't say prophet. Hey, bozo, Mr. Bozo, assimalhakeem, you are a bozo. The verse doesn't say prophet. The word prophet in Arabic is nabi. I just showed you the verse. The verse says Rasul. A foolish mushrik listening right now will say, oh, is it not the prophet who is the messenger? Did God say nabi? Foolish mushriks.
And follows other than the way of the believers, we will put him in hell.
So what is the way of the believers? You mean Salafiyah? Or is it Wahhabiyah? What is it? Is it Qadiriyah? What is it? Tell me, is it Sufiyah, Istiqamah, Ibadiyah? What is the way of the believers? Tell me. You tell me, what is the way of the believers? In your garbage books, Sahih al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, where? You see how they are fooling themselves? They are kaput in the head.
So we have to know that the hypocrites, they will come and try to undermine Islam.
So you are the ones undermining Islam by saying the Prophet married a CCSO girl from your own garbage books. Up to today, we have not seen any scholar of yours who can prove from the Quran where the Prophet married a CCSO girl. It doesn't exist. So I don't get how this logic works. And these people are in the forefront, and you think these people can give you good fatwas? These people can lead you to God? Hello? Don't let their dressing impress you. Never. Don't let the dressing impress you.
How to deal with them? We have to expose them.
Oh, how to deal with them? We have to expose them with what? With lies. This is how they do. That's their job. And that's why you see some of the Ghanaian people actually doing that same tactic. They expose with lies. They lie about you. They lie about your personality. They don't even know your background. They will lie about it. Wallahi, this is how they are. And this is the definition of a mushrik. This is how mushriks have been throughout history. That is why even the Prophet Muhammad, they called him a madman. Mushriks have been doing that centuries. In order to undermine you, then they have to name tag you, expose you with falsehood, to actually attribute falsehood to you. This is what they do.
We have to show the people that this is against Islam.
You see, now they will show the people and they will say, oh, this guy is against, just like, I don't know, is a gay or what, by the guy who said you no doubt to spread your legs left and right, that babashuaib is a kafir. This is what they do. Then you say babashuaib is against God, is against the Prophet, is against, just because of their garbage books. All this because of their garbage books. Okay.
Without giving takfir. We're not.
Now they say without giving takfir. Look, but you remember earlier on in this same video, this man called us kafirs. He says the people who say the Quran is enough are kafirs. But now he is saying without giving takfir. Do you see how their conscious work? Subconscious and conscious, they are kaput in the head. They don't know how to connect the dots between consciousness and subconsciousness. And correctional officer is here to give you the antidote for that. They are kaput in the head. And that is why I'll force them to play nonsense, to say things they are not even meant to say. The videos are there and everybody can watch. Have fun.
ISIS. We don't give takfir.
We don't give takfir. This bozo just gave takfir in the beginning of the video. Okay, let me take, this is 2 minutes, right? I'm taking back the video. Now listen. He's going to give takfir in the beginning.
If you read Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah speaks in the first 2-3 ayahs about al-mu'minin. And then 2-3 ayahs about al-kuffar. And then 8-9 ayahs about al-munafiqeen, about the hypocrites. The hypocrites are everywhere. And in the beginning, there were no hypocrites in Mecca. Why? Because Islam was weak. When they went to Medina and Islam became strong, then the hypocrites appeared. Whenever Islam is strong, hypocrisy becomes widely spread because they are enemies of Islam. They cannot attack Islam. Because if they attack Islam, people will fight with them. So what to do? They work from underground. They put doubts in your head about Islam. Oh, this is not hadith sahih. No, hadith is not good. We only believe in Quran. What about the hadith? No, hadith may be corrupt, may be this. We don't believe in hadith. We are Quraniyun. We believe only in the Quran. Whoever believes in the Quran and rejects sunnah is a kafir.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Now, this is why I keep saying these mushriks are kaput in the head. They make utterances, and the conscious, I don't know how they are using their brain. They have the brain cells has to be changed, to be given new one, to reprogram, just like the robots, how you program the brains, right? They have to be reprogrammed. They say things in the same line, they contradict themselves. Look, 2 minutes ahead, let's see what he said.
Against Islam, without giving takfir. We're not ISIS. We don't give takfir.
He said, without giving takfir, we are not ISIS. He claimed he's not ISIS without giving takfir, right? But he just gave takfir, which means you are ISIS. Do you see how their brain works? Allah mushrikaga. Hey, you make a social media so sweet. Seriously, they're mushriks. Let's go on.
But we have to expose them. Allah says in the Quran, وَلَا تَعْرِفَنَّهُمْ فِي لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ.
لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ. You. We are going to expose you with your لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ. The solecism of your speech. This is what they are doing in assimalhakeem. You, the same person who said you are not a scholar. Listen. He said he's not a scholar. Listen. He's going to expose himself.
However, this is not our question. Did you, Sheikh Asim, say 2% to 3% in a drink is permissible because it does not waste? Yes, I did. Do you still stand by this? No, I don't. What do you mean? Akhi, when I talk about Islamic issues, I don't talk from my own self. I'm not a scholar.
Allah mushrikaga. Hey, what is wrong with this mushrik? I don't understand. Right? When you talk about Islam, you don't talk from your own, and you are not a scholar, and you are sitting in Malaysia or which country you are, Indonesia, saying that people who say the Quran is sufficient, they are kafirs. What? Then whose opinion are you using there? What? La ilaha illallah. Now, this is the problem with people. When they listen to people like Zakir Naik and so on, they don't pay attention. I'm going to play a short video by Zakir Naik. Right?
Any person, any scholar, sister, says anything, ask for proof. Allah says in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 111, Qul hatu bunanakum, produce your proof in kuntum sadiqin, but if you're truthful. Any scholar, therefore what I say, that what Dr. Zakir Naik says in Islam is zero. No value. What Allah says carry weight.
You see what Zakir Naik said? What Zakir Naik says in Islam is zero. Zero, like this, zero. What God says, carry it. The foolish mushriks will keep using their garbage books to actually pass on legislation in Islam. And if you ask them, where does God make such a claim? It becomes a problem. Seriously. Then they start tagging you. Oh, he's a Quranist. He's a quranalone. He said this. He said this. He said this. What? Really? Really? Is it because you hate the truth? Your Umar himself says, Hasbuna Kitabullah, the book of God is sufficient. We are also saying the same thing. You are angry, you're upset with us. Oh, come on. Come on, mushriks, don't do that. You hate the truth, so you are going to hate us too? Really? Okay, let's listen to your Bozu scholar.
You should identify the hypocrites in the way they speak.
Yeah, we actually identified you right now because assimalhakeem, you said we should identify the hypocrite by the way they speak. We just did. We actually identified you right now.
You can tell that they're using crooked ways.
We can tell. It's true. Assimalhakeem, you are using crooked ways to lie to the people. It's true.
When they speak, they don't speak قال الله قال الرسول. No,
You see, when he was speaking, did he quote God? No. Did he quote the messenger? No. You takfir people without actually showing where God takfir people. You lie using your own whims and desires to lie. All the verses you quoted has nothing to do with God, what God is saying, according to what you are trying to base it on.
they try to undermine Islam. So
we are trying to undermine Islam. Are you sure? Or we are trying to uplift Islam to where it belongs. The point is, you infiltrated Islam, brought your garbage ideas into Islam, make people take Islam as a thing of mockery. Why will you have books of breastfeeding adults? Sahih Muslim 3600. Go and check for yourself. Prophet is telling somebody to breastfeed an adult. If this is not nonsensical, what else it is? Right? So such books to explain Islam. And when we are telling you to come back to your conscious, your senses, you are telling us we want to undermine Islam. So is that Islam for you? No wonder I call you bozos.
To expose them, we have to show in the media whatever allegations they present, we put counter allegation.
You see, because they are already lying to the people, what we say, their counter allegations is to lie about your personality, about you.
Because the jihad of the kuffar is with the sword. The jihad of al-munafiqeen, of the hypocrites, is with the tongue and with the pen.
Just like you, we just saw it. Just like your books, we say with the tongue and the pen, your scholars write all their books, right? And as well, we hear your scholars speaking with their mouth, just like you, assimalhakeem, you are speaking, right? Like this. That's how to identify munafiqs. And remember, hypocrite is even worse than a kafir.
So this is the role of the ulama, the scholars. Whenever there is an attack on Islam, they come and clarify this for the Muslims, inshallah.
Oh, so now you are part of ulama. I thought this guy said he's not a scholar. So now he said this is the role. So the role, you are telling people the role. So now you are the ulama, part of the ulama, the scholar. Hey, assimalhakeem. And he's charging $100 for consultation. The guy says he's not a scholar, but he's charging for that. You see it on the screen, right? Price $100 for an hour, right? For consultation. So these are the bozos. They lie to the people, they take people's money, and then they try to brainwash you with the fake Islam, not real Islam.